Hello everyone, Themisterminer here, and welcome back to the Tintin series retrospective. Last time we looked at Tintin in the Congo, and today we are looking at, like I said in my last retrospective, what I consider to be the first real Tintin book, Tintin in America. Before I start, I wanted to say that as we go deeper into more of a series, and in the middle of a series, the reviews are going to become a little bit shorter. Definitely, it's as we continue through the series, reviews are going to get shorter as many of the books are similar, and so it's kind of hard to say different things about each book. If there's like a book of particular interest to me or like a important book, then I'll definitely address it more. But then once we finish through the books and we're going into the TV shows, the radio shows, the movie, all those things, then it's going to start becoming much longer again. So I just wanted to warn you, and I might double up, have two books in one retrospective. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's start with starting to Tintin in America. So Tintin in America was the first real book to show and define the Tintin character, and that's why I called it the first real Tintin book, because in the last two books you could really replace the main character in that book with anyone else, and you wouldn't realize that it was Tintin. Well, of course you would because of Snowy, but take out Snowy and replace Tintin with any character, and you wouldn't really be able to identify, like, oh, this should be a Tintin book. This book defined Tintin as a strong, smart reporter detective with love of adventure and interest in fighting crime. The book follows Tintin as he journeys through Chicago in 1932. Battling gangsters and journeying through the Wild West and the land belonging to the Native Americans. Unfortunately, we don't see as much of Snowy like we did in the last two. This starts a trend of having less of Snowy in the books, which I didn't really like. The first two books I say are far inferior to the rest of the series, besides the fact that they have a lot of Snowy. But we do get a mixture of detective work and action, which is definitely what I like best about the Tintin series in general. So Tintin explores a wide variety of cultures too in this book, from the city and then into the Wild West, and then we get to see some Native Americans in this book too. And this book had no controversial and potentially offensive content from Tintin in the Congo, although some characters were changed from black to white from Herge's original book to avoid potential controversy. But yeah, we didn't see that much offensive content like we did in Tintin in the Congo, and we didn't see crude drawings, lack of color, and very unrealistic situations from Tintin in the Land of the Soviets. The only real downside to this book is that we don't get to see Captain Haddock or the rest of the crew. Thompson, Calculus, and that's not the fault of the book. It's not the fault of anyone. It's just that Herge hadn't introduced the characters yet. It's not like we can blame the book for that. It's just he hadn't introduced the characters, and it is a downside if you're used to the other books having those characters. But who can really blame anything? If you're starting the series, this is definitely the book to start with, because Tintin and the Land of the Soviets didn't really define the Tintin character. It wasn't as much as a Tintin book, and Tintin in the Congo has some offensive content. And if you're okay with that sort of offensive content, which I am, like, I'm not offended by that content that much, but I know that a lot of people probably will be, and if you have kids, it's probably not good for them to read that. And again, it's Tintin in America is just the best book, and definitely the way to start with. Well, in my opinion. And the book has the best looking art and color by far compared to the last book. The first book had no color because Herge never wanted it to be converted to color because he didn't really like it as much, and it was very crude compared to later drawings in the series. And Tintin in the Congo definitely improved on that and had better drawings, and it was in color, but the color was not as good. Or in my opinion, Tintin in America was much better colored than Tintin in the Congo. It can also be funny in a weird way sometimes. For instance, in one strip we see Tintin finds or no, not in one strip. In one part of the book, we see Tintin find some oil, and a whole bunch of people running over like, "Come here, sign this, $100,000 for your oil." And then suddenly, he says, "Oh wait, no, this belongs to the Native Americans, not to us." And then they just come and say, "All right, $25 in half an hour to pack your bags and quit the territory." And the Native Americans like, "Has Paleface gone mad?" I don't know. I just find that hilarious for some reason. It really depicts the bad things that happened to the Native Americans. I just thought it was funny because not only was it realistic, but I just love the line, "Has Paleface gone mad?" right when he says that. I don't know. I just think it's funny personally. And this one book definitely started a spree of great Tintin books, and it set the standard for what Tintin books should be, and the rest of those books improved on the standard as they went on, for the most part. If you don't know the rating system for this series, you can check the description. I'm going to give it a high rating of "Can I Have Some More?" Despite it being a great book, just because we lack some of the characters we loved and Snowy doesn't get as much action, it doesn't get the full Tintin Approved rating. I'm going to be really harsh with giving out the Tintin Approved rating. It pretty much has to be perfect for me to give it to that. But this is a great book. I definitely recommend it, and see you guys next time, when we'll be looking at Tintin and the Cigars of the Pharaoh. Goodbye.